Good afternoon. My name is Reverend Lance. Today we are continuing the seven deadly sins. Yesterday we did greed. This is part 2. Today we're going to cover envy. Genesis 3:6 speaks about envy. It's a story about the fall of man. Genesis 3:6 says, the woman was convinced. She saw that the tree was beautiful and its fruit looked delicious, and the woman wanted wisdom and it could give her. So she took some of the fruit and ate it. Then she gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it too. Envy, another word for envy is jealousy. Some people say that everyone gets jealous. I agree to that. I agree with that to a certain extent. Like, for example, someone may have a six-pack ab, may be thin, may be looking good health-wise. A bigger person would want that particular body if he has a sound mind. No one wants to be big. No one wants to be fat. No one wants to be any of these things. And one of the things I've learned is whatever size you are, whether you are ectomorph, which means skinny, whether you are endomorph, which means fat, or whether you are mesomorph, which means muscular, it is not your fault that you experience a certain body type. Going back to envy, envy is something that cannot be prevented. We find ourselves comparing and contrasting the similarities between ourselves and other people. Another word for envy that I think of is when people start judging people. The Bible says, do not judge. Matthew 7:1-2. Other verses like John 7:24 tells us to judge correctly. So whatever measure of judgment that you use, it will be used against you. If you're judging correctly, like judging people by the basis of their personality rather than their body type, then you're judging correctly. As Dr. King used to say, judge me by the content of my character and not by the color of my skin. When we look at people, we judge them on the basis of their looks and what appeals to us. Now, from a theological point of view, internally, when it comes to the mind, we generally judge on the basis of what is on the inside of our mind. We cannot stop that. Because it's only human to look, it's only human to be attracted to what attracts you. I've always said what looks good on the outside might not be so good on the inside. And I say that because looks can be deceiving. If a person can look good on the outside, but the moment they get that ring on their finger, you'll see a side you never saw. Never be desperate to enter a relationship. Always allow God to direct you to a relationship. I'm 33 years old. I'm a 33-year-old virgin. I have no shame in my game. I am looking for the right one, and I know that God will lead me to that right one. Sometimes people come into my life that don't appeal to me, and I deal with all types of personalities as a theologian. In the case of Adam and Eve, they wanted something that the devil whispered in their ear that they didn't have. God gave them wisdom when he created them. The devil wanted to take away that wisdom by getting them to eat from the forbidden tree. The tree of evil refers to disobedience. We learned how to be disobedient the moment we bit into that fruit. And that went against God's plan for our lives. And as a result, we experienced death. Death to salvation, death to eternity, death. We lost our soul the moment we ate from that tree. We got to examine people, places, and things before we make a comment to something that we don't want. Misery loves company. A lot of people are miserable in this world. There are people in my lives that I don't want nothing to do with. Some people we got to learn to deal with, even because we can't avoid them no matter how hard we try. So the key to overcoming envy is to self-evaluate yourself. You are who you surround yourself with. I cannot stress that enough.